Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our daily transparency update as usual. So if you're new here, that's just basically me talking about the portfolio's gains or losses for every single stock market day. And then as always, of course, we have to talk about Tesla stock and its movements for the day, since that is 100% of my portfolio, pretty much 100% of my net worth, since all of my net worth is in the stock market. And I may dedicate a video to that topic in the future about why I choose to put all of my net worth in the stock market, and then also just my investing strategy over the past year and the progress. I kind of just want to do a year-end review video of all of that. I think it would be pretty interesting just as like a standalone video, because once I started out doing these videos, it was a little bit later after my initial investments, like when I purchased VOO in December, and then when I bought Apple like in January. So there's some details there where I think even those who have been subscribed to the channel for a while, that they might not even be aware of. So even though I do these daily transparency updates, I am thinking about like just dedicating a specific video talking about how I went from $0 invested to this current value right now in around a year. So I'm considering doing a video like that on Saturday. But as always, of course, if you enjoy the transparency updates, please make sure to smash that like button. Getting right into this for today, we had Tesla stock once again hit an all-time high close. If we take a look at the charts for Yahoo Finance, as you can see, it says we had an all-time high close of $599.04 per share. And if we compare that close to previous dates, just to make sure it's an all-time high close, as you can see, yesterday was an all-time high close of $593.38 per share. And then before that, we had a close of $568, $584, $567, $585, $574. You get the point. It basically goes lower since then, since we had so many days in a row of not only all-time high closes, but also all-time highs in general. So Tesla stock is continuing to make some huge moves, and I have to admit, I'm not surprised. I've stated pretty much since the beginning of S&P 500 inclusion, since that announcement, I stated that I believe this will be one of the craziest months ever in Tesla stock history, and that's just because we have a bunch of different events unfolding, in the sense that there could be like this snowball effect with the share price, I think, with just so many different index fund managers that track the index having to buy Tesla stock if they want to stay along the course with the actual S&P 500. And keep in mind, if they don't perform at the same level or over that level than the S&P 500, then it's a really bad look and it just simply won't turn out well for them. So I think we have this compounding effect of so many different index fund managers out there that are likely going to have to choose whether to make this purchase or not. And if they're smart, they will make this purchase, even if it is expensive at this point in time. I think even the S&P 500 are going to get returns on this, probably perform a lot better than those who are going to just try to cash out on some quick gains by selling their shares when this mandatory purchase happens, or if there's a sell-off afterwards. That's the funny thing. I think S&P 500, although a lot of people are making fun of them for having to make this mandatory purchase, in general, with them just saying, YOLO, we're going to buy it all in one tranche anyways, it's going to happen, we might as well just rip off the band-aid. Yes, it's valid to criticize them for waiting this long to add it to the S&P 500, but the interesting thing is that there's a lot of people out there that are kind of making fun of the S&P 500 for making this purchase right now, but better late than never. And I still think there's going to be a lot of gains for them, even at whatever price they buy in, based on just this 10-year of exponential growth that we're going to see in the EV market, and with Tesla at the forefront. So I think even the S&P 500 is going to make a lot more gains than those who are trying to short this stock, or at least time Tesla stock, in the sense that there are definitely some people out there and investors that are buying Tesla stock right now and then waiting until this inclusion to sell it off and make some quick gains. But in the long term, the S&P 500 is really the ones that are going to experience solid performance, because you have a lot of these other people that just chase the quick gains, but they couldn't see that growth from the long-term perspective. So in general, the S&P 500 is still going to win here, in my opinion, and those index fund managers that track the S&P 500 are still going to win as well if they do decide to buy Tesla stock. Now, of course, that's just my opinion. Anything that I say in this video is not to be considered financial advice. But I see myself in the future buying past the price of whatever the S&P 500 makes that purchase at, even on December 21st. I don't see myself stopping buying Tesla stock next year or even the year after. Now, of course, things could change on that. My investing perspective is always changing and I'm always learning, but I certainly don't see myself selling any of my stock until a very long time in the future. We're talking about a decade and on in terms of even when I consider selling this stock. But like I said, whatever the price the S&P 500 makes this purchase purchase at, even if there's a huge run up. I still don't even see them getting the bad end of the stick when it comes to just simply holding that stock for the long term. It's just that right now people know that they're going to have to make a purchase at whatever price it is. They basically have no control on whatever price that they buy it at, but still, like I said, it may seem a little expensive, whatever that price ends up being in the short term. I mean, who knows? There could be a sell-off beforehand and the S&P 500 gets a huge deal. I think that's a bit more unlikely to happen. I think there will be a run-up between now and S&P 500 inclusion, but like I said, in the short term, it may look a little bit bad for them in the sense that they're going to have to likely buy at a high price. But in the long term, I think they're still going to make solid money, and that's why I'm still buying this stock. You all know that I bought shares at $587 recently. I'm going to be holding that for the long term. And keep in mind, as soon as I made that big purchase, it seemed like the stock dropped instantly. It dropped 4% that day after I made that purchase, but I still held through, just like I held through when I bought Tesla stock when it first hit $950. It dipped, went back up to $950, still didn't sell it. Then the stock crashed because the whole stock market crashed. It dropped by like 2/3, and I still held it through, and I'm still holding those shares now. That just represents my level of conviction a little bit. But like I said, I think there is this compounding effect of not only index fund trackers and the actual S&P 500 inclusion, but also just many institutional investors out there as well, as we start to see analysts upgrade price targets like with Goldman Sachs. And I think we will start to see more analysts upgrade their price targets as well, because that was kind of a big move to say we were pretty much wrong on this, and we've already switched it from a neutral to a buy, and we've changed this price target to 780. That's a pretty bold move, and I have to give credit where it's due in the sense that they did admit they were pretty much wrong and their research didn't check out. And with that being said, I think a bold move like that will maybe start to get some of these other analysts out here to at least reconsider their position and think, okay, what are we missing here? And I think there's a compounding effect with that as well. And then that could lead to some more institutional investors that don't really have the job of tracking the index funds, just ones that are looking for solid investments. That could actually change some perspectives on that as well. And then of course you have the big one, which is retail investors, who are commonly seen as the small guys, but as we know with Tesla stock, that's really one of retail investors' favorites out there, and understandably so, because they've managed to pick up on this stock and actually realize a lot more of its potential with this company than a lot of the Wall Street analysts out there and institutional investors. So of course, mad props go out to the retail investors, and I think that this will continue to be a common occurrence in the future, in which a lot of retail investors will start to pick up on some of these other stocks out there, kind of similar to Tesla, that aren't getting the attention they deserve. And definitely when the mainstream finance media and a lot of the Wall Street analysts out there have to basically admit that they were wrong and retail investors were correct. And like I said, I think this will be a trend that continues. But just getting into the portfolio for today, we are currently at a value of $239,769.73. And in the normal market hours today, we had a plus 1.06% gain. That is plus $2,512.23. And then in the after hours, we are at minus 0.06%. And that is plus $150.95. And for the different time frames for this one, for the past week, we are at minus 0.39%. That is minus $939.20. For the past month, we are currently up 37.65%. That is plus $65,582.35. For the past 3 months, we are currently up 66.84%. That is plus $96,053.46. And then for the past year, we are currently up 133.54%, which is plus $137,103.47. And the all-time chart is just slightly different from the 1 year now, since it has been a few days since that 1 year anniversary. But with that, we are at plus 133.58%, which is plus $137,118.35. And then if we check out Tesla stock specifically, for today's return with after hours and the normal market hours combined, we are at plus 0.90%. That is plus $2,361.23. And then for the total return, we are currently up 80.54%, which is plus $118,541.84. With this video, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about S&P 500 inclusion, and it's just nice to see another pretty solid gain today for Tesla stock. Performed above the market if we take a look at NASDAQ and VOO. We even had a lot of the tech stocks out there in the red today, so it's always nice to see one of those those days where not only is Tesla outperforming the market, but especially when it's kind of doing the opposite and in the green when a lot of the tech stocks are in the red. So as always, of course, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and also feel free to check out my referral links to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. With Robinhood, you can get a free stock, and with Webull, you can get 4 in total, 2 for signing up with my referral link. Those can be valued up to $250, and then another 2 on top of that, valued up to $1,600, and you can get those by depositing $100 into your account. It really helps support the channel, and I appreciate all of you all that have supported the channel so far by using my link. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.